Hi, soulmates. Welcome back to my platform. How are you all doing? You can see what you have here, guys. So, in our today's class, we'll learn how to make this beautiful deep neckline bustier without that replacement. So, let's quickly get started. First is our measurement. So, guys, you can see what you have here. This is 38 inches under bust measurements. Okay, 36 inches. Sorry. So, when making a bustier without that replacement, meaning you want to snatch. Yes, let me use that we want to snatch. So you place it this way, you can see how tight it is. See? So this is the moderate one. The one who at the end of the day will replace our dart. Can work with 36 or 35 inches. But because we want to snatch, so you place your tape because we won't be replacing the dart. Place my tape. You can see arm tightening. I want my underbust to be, you see, I extend it to 33. If I place this very well, I can work with 32 inches. Okay, so from 36 to 33 inches. So note the dart will be subtracting. The 3 inches are subtracting is the dart that won't be replacing. Meaning the underboard that is 36, I will place 36, but I won't replace the dart. The waistline that is 38, I will place 38, but I won't replace the dart. Okay, so let's quickly get started. So these are our required materials. We have our ST here. We have the skin illusion working with the Ankara and the satin. I don't have my wadding here, but advice for working for a client, make sure you have your wadding, the lightest one, to add to your bodice. Yes. So the measurement now is 3 inches. We'll be subtracting on the waist and on the under bust and our waistline. Okay. So the bust measurement I'm working with is 42 inches. Okay. Let me drop the basic and show you guys. So here we are, because of our time, but I will explain it as well. So this is the skin net I'll be working with. It stretches a whole lot. It's the original one. So I step down 0.7 inch. From there, I'll place my armhole depth. So from this part, I place my arm bust point, under bust, and the waistline. The waistline is 24 because my seam allowance is added here. Is that I'm not using my high waist, I'm using my standard waist. Yes, that's why I'm using 24 inches here, include my seam allowance, that's M line. So what I'm placing right now is the bust span, the nipple to nipple, that is distance from one nipple to the other is 8 inches. I'm placing 4 inches because we are assuming our pattern is into fold here. Okay, so the next step now is to place our neck width. I'm working with neck width of 3 inches, depth 4 inches. I don't want my neckline to be that tight. I want it a bit free. So the neck depth is optional as well. So, excuse me. The next thing to do is to find the leftover shoulder line is 5 into 2.5 inches. Then connect it to the bust point. Okay, bust point direct this way. So do not be confused. We won't be cutting our yoke part. It's just shoulder line that we're working with shoulder line that. If I be following me, I do work with the bust span, but in today's class we're working with shoulder line that. So you can see we are subtracting 3 inches on that bust and the waist area. So I'll be working with side that more. But first, you step down from the bust point with an half inch, step up with an half inch. So excuse me, because it's 3 inches, so I will place half inch, sorry, 1 inch towards the bust area, half inch to the center piece, the same to the waistline. Okay, so I will connect it with my master row straight this way. See the bust, the dart under bust dart is towards the armhole more. So find the bust radius. You can see the bust radius is 4 inches, but I want to step down a bit. I'll be subtracting 1 inch. Okay, we will start to work with bust radius, but now I'll be subtracting 1 inch for my bust radius. So I will place half inch towards the armhole on that new chest line dart now, because I am making use of shoulder that line. You can see. So towards the center piece, half inch as well. So I will connect with my armhole curve this way. You can see it's towards the armhole side. So it's 1 inch I place here. So it's form of a process dart, you understand? It's more towards the armhole than the center piece. Okay. So place this part as well. The half inch will connected to the center piece. So blend it. You patiently blend this part. Get rid of any sharp edge. Okay. Blend it properly. Okay, so connect it as well to the half inch. I will step down, step up with. You can see how it looks. So this is it. So guys, the next thing to do, we'll be working with arm side dart as well. But before placing side dart, we have to quickly place our bust measurement. But I will step out as well with an half inch. So if you're working with side dart, you can work with half inch, 1 inch, depending on the measurement, measurement you are working with. So first is to place our bust circumference. So it's 42, which is 10.5 inches. Okay, so the waist area is this. I'll be working with, because you can see I'm quickly got my because we are subtracting 3 inches. Okay, and remember we won't be replacing these 3 inches. So let me place the waist, sorry, the bust line as well. So the bust is this. I just wrote it down, which is 42, which I've already placed, which is 10.5 inches. So the waist now is 9 inches. Yes, the waist, because it's using my standard waist length. So I will just connect it straight this way. So the next thing to do now is to place the side dart. Okay, so I'm working with 1 inch side dart. So if you are working with bust of 33, 34 to 38, you can work with an half inch side dart. So this part will be getting rid of these parts, and we won't be replacing them. Yes, you won't be doing that. So the next step now is to find the neck depth. You remember it's deep neckline bustier. So we decide to work with your waistline, all depend on your preference. For the center of piece, just step in with an half inch. So by the time you open it up, you'll be having 1 inch in between your bows. Okay, so you could decide to stop the waist area under bust. You decide to step down. Mine, I step down with 2 inches from my under bust. Okay, this part is optional. Okay, so towards the armhole, find the midpoint, which is 4 inches. So I will go in with 1 inch because it's skin illusion, and you know it stretches a whole lot. So I will introduce my armhole curve this way. So I will place it this way to connect from the shoulder line to the 1 inch we step in with, and to the bust line, which is the armhole curve. Okay. So I'll be getting rid of this part as well. With this 1 inch, you won't be trimming out anything when you're done. So we have to now blend it to the armhole this way, connect it this way. Patiently work on this part. First, step out with like 1 inch, flip your armhole curve this way to this part. Make sure you blend it properly, okay, to this direction. So the next thing to do is the center front. That's the deep neckline part. Do not forget to find your bust radius if you don't want to expose your bust. So this part also is optional. So mine, I'll be working with 3.5 inches. We start to work with 3 inches. 4 inches is your bust radius, okay, but there should be a space in between your bust to bring that skin illusion effect. Okay, so you connect it this way. You can see to the deep neckline. Yeah, the length that we're working with. So this part is optional. Okay, but do not forget to place just an half inch on the center piece if you don't want to expose your bows. So you can start to connect it straight to the end part, or you can start to make it curve towards the side seam, all depending on your preference. So I want to quickly now explain another method. Those I'll be working with on a bust line. Connect this way. If you want to step off on the bust line with 1 inch, blend it as well. is the same thing, guys. So for this other part, if you want to work with your exact bust radius, the pencil I'm working with now is exact bust radius. You won't expose your bows at all. Everywhere we covered. So this is it. So the next thing to do now is to label this part is the yoke part. Did not forget that. We're not cutting this part. We're making use of our yoke. So let's quickly cut it out. So in this our tutorial, we introducing back panel as part two of this sewing tutorial. You know why the duration of this is already 45 minutes. It's too long. So the back panel uploading it soon as well. So my seam allowance, okay, just the seam allowance is what I'll be working with. So cut it out this way. So you have to extend this, remember it's side that just an half inch, connect it this way to avoid shortage. Okay, there are different methods how to go about this. You decide to fold it in this way and blend it. Okay, all depend on your preference. So if you such a way you don't want to make this type without that replacement, the link below is the one with that replacement. Yes, but if you want to have that waist snitching, this is the method you should use. Okay, so this is another method. Send it in this way, secure it with your paper tape like what I'm doing here, guys. Okay, then connect it straight. Okay, you decide to cut it out as well. It's all depending on your preference. So do not be confused when you see it elsewhere. It's still the same result. Okay, so staple it this way. We will have about 0.2 inch there shortage. Just blend it straight. That is all. So let's quickly cut our dots. So I'm cutting out these parts, and I'll be adding my seam allowance while transferring to the fabric for better understanding. So I've decided to work with my exact bust radius. Yes, so let me reconnect it once again. So I want to blend it properly now to my armhole. Yeah, I want to blend it. You can see what I'm doing, guys. To my armhole, but my under the deep neckline is still the same. That is the 2 inches away from the under bust. Okay, so I just want to blend this part so that when I'm through, I will have a neat neckline bustier. So I will cut in with my bust radius now. So this part is optional, guys. So we'll cut it out this way. So patiently do this, guys. And please, if you don't want to work with this method that is waist stitching, the link below is the one I did last year. Yeah, the tutorial is with that replacement. This is start that replacement. This is advanced though, but I took my time to explain it for the sake of our beginners here. Okay. So if you are working with this side that if the front length is 23, your back length, do not forget this, should be 22 inches. Do not forget that your back is always shorter. Yeah, because of the side darts. But the center back is always 2 inches shorter or 1.5 so that your zipper will not fold. So this is what I'm explaining, guys. So let's quickly transfer it and show you guys. You can see I'm done transferring to the fabric. You can see both the yoke parts. You can see is into two part. I want to sew it and turn it for neat finishing. So these are our ST. I will add it both to my lining, okay, and show you guys, okay. So here we are. But I advise that working for a client, make sure you add a wording, the lightest one. So this is my bra cup I'm working with here. They are not the same size, guys. One is 40, one is 42. Okay, that's just to add a little push up. What I have here is a little wording I have leftover little wording, the light ones. I try to double it to create a little push up there on that part. Okay, because I'll be rocking this outfit like seriously. So this is the yoke part. I want to sew it now and turn. used to this by now. Just to sew it all round, okay? Flip it in for neat finishing on the neckline, okay? So you can see I'm through with the yoke part. So I've gone to iron it as well. So you can see how neat it is. We are back to the main tutorial, guys. So you can see I only added ST here because I'm making use of my bra cup. But if you're working for a client, guys, make sure you add the lightest wording to this. Yes, very important. And add ST to your lining. I did not add ST to my lining. I did not add wording to my bodice. That is the main fabric here. Yes. So I introduced my part, and the reason is this: when sewing, you just follow the straight seam line. Very easy to sew, and you have neat finish. If you look at my the introduction of this tutorial, you can see that is a bit rough. Do you know why? I had issue with my machine needle, and there was no essay or any interface into the lining parts. Okay, so take note of this. Do not be like me and working on this part. Do the right thing. That I'm saying this. So this is to sew as well. So pin it this way. Make sure you pin it. I'm doing all this for the sake of beginners. Okay, you pin it so that when you place it on your machine, you will just stitch it straight without any stress of adjusting this down part or the upper part. You want just to focus and stitch neatly. You can see what I'm doing, guys. So this is it. And guys, I also want to use the opportunity to remind you all that our online classes registration is ongoing, and offline classes as well for these August sections. If you are interested, you DM, okay? Please do not forget to share, like, comment as well. So this is how you stitch it, guys. Stitch patiently. You can see why the tutorial is that long. Yes, and make sure I slow down all the parts that are very important. They're all important though, but I want that you can easily understand. You can see like this part, the method of stitching. You can see how I place it one at a time. You can see how neat it is already. I haven't ironed it yet. Okay, but do not forget to add wadding. I know I'm saying this. So the second part, introduce it this well. So what I discovered here is I marked on both on wrong side. Okay, you can see. So I'll introduce my pattern as well. That is my pattern paper. Okay, so pin it this way. With this method, you will sew without stress. So exactly what I'm doing here, guys, is what the way I will stitch the lining part as well. So I won't be showing the lining parts. Okay, so pin it this way, stitch straight if you mark yours correctly. But if you did not, introduce and mark it like this for easy sewing to save you stress of tracing and dancing around. You remember it's cup. So this is it. So over to our machine to stitch. Sorry, my camera wasn't well positioned here, so I have to adjust it this way. I'm just doing all this for better view. Yeah, so stitch this way. Actually having issue with my machine here. My machine needle got stuck, so I have to look for there was not any around. I was just focusing on the tutorial, so I won't show this part complete. So stitch and show you guys all round. So you can see what you have. You can see how rough it is because my needle was not flowing at all. Unlike the first one, so I'll iron it. So I've ironed it, guys. You can see there is tension there. Okay, so I will do the iron much later. Yeah, so it's time to work on our yoke part. Yes, so introduce it this way. For those that are working with deep neckline to the waist area, the place is very easy than this halfway neckline. Yes, so place it this way. So with this method you can work with that uh excuse me that waist area deep neckline. So place it this way. So you can see the way I trace out my yoke at the end part is not just pointy. Yes, I did it for easy sewing. So you flip one part this way. Okay, flip it this way. You will stitch, but you won't be stitching with your exact half-inch seam allowance. The reason is this: we need to add our lining. So you pin it, you will stitch with 0.2 to secure the net, that is the skin illusion part with your bodice, okay, before introduce the lining. I believe some of us have watched the other tutorial about deep neckline, but that very one is with that replacement. As I said earlier, this without that replacement. So you place it like this. So you stitch before your seam allowance. Do not forget this to avoid shortage. So let's move over to our sewing machine. And please, if you find this interesting, this tutorial, please like, comment, please share. Okay, I love you all. So we are over to our sewing machine now. So take you down this way. Always back stitch. So as you stitch, you adjust your pins. Stitch this way. I'm trying to arrange my camera to the well position. So stitch, patiently work on this part. As you stitch, you adjust your skin illusion for easy sewing. Okay, you can see. Open the dart line. Yeah, so we are only stitching with 0.2 inch, not up to an half inch, which is 0.5, because it's the lining part that will take care of the seam allowance. Okay, so stitch to this other part. So this is it. Excuse me. You can see how neat it is already. So this is it. So the cup area, you can see how cup it is already. I've not added bra cup. I didn't even use wadding. It's just the dart, because once you place your underbutt dart uh, properly, there's definitely going to be enough room for the bush to set. Yeah, so this is the second place. I'm not satisfied with second piece. My machine dealt with me, but I'll iron it very well when I'm through. So this is the second part. So you pin it this way as well. Pin it this way. So we're stitching with the 0.2 inch as well, not with our complete seam allowance, because we need to add our lining. Okay, so pin, flip, you can see how it is. So this is how it should look when you are done stitching this step. Is there a step by step, this first step. So 0.2 as well, do not forget that. But always make sure excuse me, you mark it on the right side. Okay, the side I be stitching on, you can easily control. That's what I mean. So place it as well. Sorry, trying to adjust my camera for better view. So stitch. As you stitch, you adjust the down part, that is the first part. Okay, so you won't stitch on it. As you stitch, you adjust. To stitch, you adjust this way. Okay, so stitch, you adjust this way. So if you have not watched the first deep neckline bustier with that replacement, uh click on the link below so you can see what I'm doing, guys. And make sure I just twist it this way to the armhole part this way. So I'm trying to arrange my neck part, as the yoke part, properly. Okay, this part you have to patiently work on it. Yeah, because it's the beauty of this bustier. Yes, you have to patiently work on it. So this is how you stitch. Adjust your neck part, which is the yoke part, okay, to the armhole. Right. It wouldn't have been up to that armhole because I added seam allowance to join my, because I'll be working with sleeve on the side, that's the yoke part. So this is, you can see how cup it is. Okay, you can see how cup it is. So the next thing is to join my lining this way separately. Okay, and show you guys. Okay, so I'm done with my lining. So this is it. So this is the cup that I'll be working with. So first, mark the center part. You decide to dart it, but I won't do that because I added the little wording I have here, to create a little push up down this part, and they're not the same size. One is 40, one is 42. So make sure you place it under your bust. It's very important. So place it this way. For this part, I have not add glue to the wording part. That is push up, mini push up. Let me use that word. So if you have usual gum, you decide to use it, yeah, on this part. You decide to stitch on it. I was stitching on it. Okay, so this is how you should pin it. You make sure that that line lines with that line. Okay, so this is how it should look. Okay, but make sure you give it a very nice press. So I'll be using hemming gum to add my cup. And you decide to add this your cup to your lining part, all depending on your preference. It's not just this one method. Do not forget that. So the second one, place it this way, notch it as well. Notch it. Find the under bust this way. But working with bra or a made bra cup is not compulsory. If you have wording with you, you can work with your wording. You must not necessarily work with a already made bra cup. So my I don't have a wording available. What I have is just a little one here. It won't be enough. So I decided to use my ready bra cup. No, and they're not, you can see one is bigger than one. So you can see how it is. And because it's deep necklines, I'll be trimming it towards the center piece that's in between the bows, but I won't do that now. I will do that while stitching so I can see the part that aligns very well. Okay, but first I will take it to my ironing table. This is my hemming gum, so I will take my ironing table, excuse me, place it on the dart line this way, iron it, or make sure you iron it very well. You have to be patient while doing this. I wasn't patient enough. So you have to be patient to iron this part so it will come out well and open the dart lines. So this is it. You can see. So I stitch on my, as I said earlier, on the mini push up. Yes. So I stitch on, then use a M gum to add my remain bra cup. I decided to do this to your lining, that is placing your cup direct to your lining. Do not forget I've said that earlier. So you can see this is the center front, guys. Yes, we have to close it now. Closing this part, we'll use our exact seam allowance. Wash closely. We have to use our exact seam allowance because we'll be adding our lining direct with our seam allowance. Unlike the yoke part, that yoke part, we only use that 0.2 to secure it, to make sure it's together with the main bodice. So this part, you can see what I'm marking, guys, is the exact seam allowance. You will stitch to the deep neckline, the length of the deep neckline you are working with. So I will place my machine this way to stitch, back stitch this way. You can see. So this tutorial, I'll be bringing in part 2. I've said that before. I'll bring in part 2. The part 2 is how to work on the back panel. But before then, watch closely, guys. So you iron it open. So we are through ironing it open. You can see how neat it is now. So the lining part is neater. But I didn't add any interface, but if you're working for a client, make sure you add S to your lining so it will last very well. So for the bone, you decide to place your bone in this way, that line, or create a bone casing, yes, this way as well to cover your boning, or on your right side your bodies. Okay, so myself I'm using Ankara because I'm using Ankara as the down part of my skirt. So for the already made bra cup, I said that, guys, how they are not equal. So I want to trim this part so that when I'm done stitching, the neck area will last very well. Yes, feel free to trim out this part. It won't affect anything. Okay, trim it out. But while doing that, make sure you check the distance. Okay, in between your bows. That's what I mean. So one is bigger, one is smaller. You can see this part is just about 0.5. Okay, so if there's any adjustment when closing up, meaning when adding your lining to cover the rough part, still trim it, but make sure it plays very well. So this is our lining part. So if you are confused, place it this way to know the side that we're facing each other. You know, wrong side, when you're done, should be wrong side facing the wrong side. So when you're done with that, pin it this way like what I'm doing, guys. Open all these parts. Open up this neckline this way. Patiently pin it. The reason for this pinning is this: it will make it easy for you to sew without stress. Pin it very well. Yes, if possible, iron it first before you stitch. Iron it very well for easy sewing. So pin it this way. Patiently pin it. Do not be in a hurry to work on this part. Yes. So you can see what I'm doing, guys. For easy sewing, you can see how it looks. You can see. So this is it. So we're over to our tabletop machine. So stitch this way. Now, guys, we'll be stitching with our 0.5 inch. Yeah, what is the final stitching? So you stitch with the exact 0.5 inch. If it's 1 inch, you added a seam allowance, but advise you add an half inch for easy sewing. So as you stitch, you adjust. Sorry, my camera wasn't well positioned here, so I later switch over. Okay, so as you stitch this way, you adjust your yoke, adjust your bodice, then you control your lining part. Everything will be very neat when you are through. So So if you watch closely, you know we have marked it. Yes, we've marked our seam allowance. We are just following that an half inch. Okay. But I later position my camera. Though later position my camera. So this is how you stitch. So stitch, you adjust it this way. Adjust it. So I had to switch over. Sorry about that. I had to continue. So you can see. So as you stitch, you raise your yoke part. See what I was saying about the cup area. Trim out this part. Okay, hold it firm. Stitch. We're just following the seam allowance that we had. I already marked it. It's very easy. This part is very easy. You raise it this way, like what I'm doing here, guys. You stitch. You'll not be in a hurry. So trim out this part. Open the dots lines this way. Can see how they are meeting with each other. Yes, so stitch this way, raise it as well. You stitch, wash clothes, because I won't be showing the lining part, sorry, the second part, this detail because of our duration. Yeah, so trim out this part this way. This is for those that be working with a bra cup that is not your size. Yes, so this is it. It's big 42. You know, or maybe black couple who have big 42 and small 42. One is big 42, yeah, which is my bust measurement. One is small 40. So this is the back stitch. So flip it this way. You can see how beautiful it is. You see, but not be like me, guys. Make sure you add ST to your lining. There's no ST here. Add ST to your lining, okay, so your work will look very neat when you are through. So this is for this part. And just being careful, my camera I'm just distracting me. I want to make sure that what I'm doing is captured. So you can see. So this is this other part. You flip it this way as well. So whatever I'm showing right now, guys, I said that before, is our exact seam allowance. So pin as well. You first pin the deep neckline, the part that has the yoke. Pin it down first. Okay, pin it down to check if you are doing the right thing. But once you stitch and start losing, it won't look neat. You know, it's the skin illusion. It won't last very well. We're over to our sewing machine now. So place it this way. My machine. I had zero issue with this machine though. Good. So backstage, you can see what I'm doing, guys. I'm adjusting it. I'm doing this for the sake of beginners. This is another method. If you're having issue with this deep neckline part, make sure you stitch that part to the end part. Yes, as you stitch, pull your pin. You can see, as you stitch, you pull your pin. Do not be in a hurry. You can see, adjust it this way. Adjust it this way. Okay, adjust it this way to the end part before you flip it. Okay, to the bust line and to the armhole. You can stitch this one as well. So I'm just trying to explain different method of how to stitch your deep neckline. So you can see how it is already. I haven't ironed it. You can see. So by the time you flip it, see this center front, very close. Okay, so I will flip to the other part. You see, flip to the other part, then flip it this. So that's what I mean, to stitch this other part to the armhole. Okay, this way. These are things you take note of. Your dot line. So stitch this way. Place it very well. As you stitch, you check your yoke. Yeah, the skin illusion to make sure you see what I'm doing is where they last. Open your dot lines. The reason is that when you iron, it will last very well. So open it this way. Adjust. I said to show this part. Yes, so adjust this. You can see what I'm doing, guys. As you stitch, you adjust. You can see. Just follow the seam allowance we added to that deep neckline that I've sewn. You can see. Adjust it. And that is it. As you can see. So it's so easy, guys. You can see how neat it is. But make sure you iron it very well. And make sure you add hair stay that is interfacing to your lining. Okay, so this is it. So here we are, guys. It's time to join the side seam. I want to explain one thing to you guys. You can see my lining on the cup area. You can see it's not relaxed. You know why? I didn't add any interfacing. It's the same measurement, but it's surplus now because there's no interfacing there. There's no one. There's nothing there. You can see the cup area. You can see how free it is. But leave it. Iron it your M gum on the neckline to last very well. See, so this part you have to patiently iron it. Please do not be like me. Iron it very well. So let me introduce our boning. Yeah, this is our boning. So for this hemming gum, before you place your hemming gum, please do not forget to close your side seam. My using overlocking machine when I'm through or side seam. So cut out the hemming gum this way. The hem gum, insert it this way, and this part you have to patiently iron it. Get your skin illusion bond, so you place it and iron all round and show you guys. So guys can see I am through. I'm done ironing it. You can see this part I was telling you guys is a bit surplus because there's no interfacing, there's no one, there's no ornament bracket, nothing. So this is it on this part. So that is why I say guys should make sure you add your hairstay. So before cutting out our bone casing, we have to close the side seam. I want to quickly explain it for those that will be closing the side seam. Yes. So you flip it right side, facing the right side this way. I'm working with side seam because I need to iron my dart line very well before doing all this. Okay, because my machine and needle affected my work. There's some area there's a little tension that we want to iron very well. So this is, but I have to quickly explain this for the sake of beginners. So this is how you close your side seam. Sorry, the table is shaking with an half inch. And sorry, I forgot to mention this. I used 1.5 inch as my seam allowance, size seam allowance. Yes. So I've sewn now with an half inch. I'll be left with 1 inch. So this is how it should look. For the bone casing, I've gone to create my Ankara bias. Yes. So you can see I will stitch. Okay, so I will stitch to close this part. Do not say because I'm placing my bone casing on the that one that is rough that you could decide to ignore this. No, if once your machine will start having issue, make sure you change it. My that's why I didn't close my side seam. I want to iron it very well because I'll be rocking this outfit. Yeah. So the part two of it is the back panel. Out alternate the back panel too. The third part will be about the skirt part, which is optional. You can start to work with A shape, drape, 6 pieces skirt, short skirt on that part, which is the down part and crown part. So we cut out this way. Okay, so stitch on the other part. So I will do the same. I will structure it all around and show you guys. And remember, this part is optional as well. Depending uh the bone channels you want to create, you decide to work with all through like front up to 5. You decide to work with 6 bone channels to structure it here, all depend on your preference. But mine just, you saw the introduction, just moderate. Yes, I added a total of 5 bone channels. So stitch. Make sure you lock this part. And mine is meeting under my bust. Yes, it's under the bust this way. So you switch it this way. Back stitch very well. Stitch it neatly. So this is it. And please, guys, find it interesting, like, comment, share. Okay, I love you all. And if you're new to this channel, please kindly subscribe. So if you want to watch the deep neckline bustier with that replacement, which is DR, click on the link below. And if you're interested in our offline classes for this August batch, DM, yes, to register. Offline and online classes registration is ongoing. So you can see the banner here. Yes. So this is it. So this part is optional. You see what I'm doing here? Try to add more structure. But if you're doing this, make sure you find your bust radius. Place your tape on your bust point. Place your armhole. Add an half inch to it. You place this to structure it very well. Okay, so I even structure what to flatten your bust. Yes, so place it this way. You can see, but later change my 2 inch 1 inch away from the bust area. So this part as well is optional. You decide to place this way. You have seen instruction already. Place it this way, or you decide to take it to the bust point, sorry, the bust line. This part, you decide to take it this way, it end right under your bust line. Yes, so you decide to place it from your bust line this way. So it depends how you want to structure this part to give it that stability that you are looking for. Okay, so here we are. You can see, so I'm done. You can see, so I'm done here creating my bone channels. Yes, so I'm inserting my bone in now. So as I insert, you can see my paper tape on the decks here. So I got my razor blade to trim the sharp edge. It wasn't working well. If you have lighter, you can, yes, you can use it. Excuse me, to make sure the laser it won't convenience you, it will choke you. So place it this way, trim off this part. Okay, so I said to blend it on my own this way. So you place it like this as well. Trim out the paper tape side this way. Insert it as well to under bust as well this way, all round. Okay, so please, if you found it interesting, like, comment, you can see the wrong side, share. I will give it a very nice press and show you guys. So you can see, guys, I was present enough to iron it a bit here. You can see the result, you can see how beautiful it is. So please, this is all for part one. I love you all. God bless you all. Bye.